All right, we also want to welcome in our first guest today. Joining us today, we have former federal prosecutor Larry Klayman. He's also the founder of Freedom Watch. Always good to have you, Larry. We've been talking about Andrew McCabe. I want to ask you, do you think McCabe will take up the Democrats' offer? Because they're talking about possibly hiring him for as little as 2 days so he can keep his pension. Do you think he's going to go for it?
Of course, he has no ethics or morality, Miranda. And, you know, the whole issue is kind of absurd because he simply lost his job. He simply was fired. Frankly, he should have been indicted and he should be tried. And
do you think he will be indicted, though? Because we had a caller, Ian, from New York, saying that he should face charges. Do you think he ultimately will?
No, because the establishment in Washington protects itself. The deep state says, there by the grace of God go thee. And I'll tell you something, what would happen inside of the FBI, there would be all kinds of agents there and others who would be leaking information about the Attorney General, leaking information about the Deputy Attorney General, the head of the FBI. It's mutual assured destruction in Washington. And simply having him fired is the least punishment this guy could get under the circumstances. It's frankly absurd that, as I said, is that there's an uproar over this.
We only have a couple minutes remaining, Larry, so I do want to talk about another story that has been percolating here for a couple days, and that is the Facebook breach, although Facebook doesn't call it a breach, but the U.S. and the EU are now launching a probe into data misuse. Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar is pushing for Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg to testify. She's not the only one. This isn't really a partisan issue. Senator Marco Rubio also has some questions when it comes to Facebook. Of course, this is happening after a data scientist basically harvested information, according to him, that more than 250,000 people gave him permission, but he ended up actually pulling data from more than 50 users. He then allegedly gave that information to Cambridge Analytica. Want to ask you real quickly, one, is Facebook being as transparent as it should, and does it have to be because it is a private company? Is this something that the government, in other words, should be getting involved with?
First of all, private companies now have the capability of the NSA and CIA in terms of data collection, in terms of getting information which they're not supposed to have under the Fourth Amendment. So it is a big problem. It should be looked at. But yes, it's a private company, Miranda, and anybody who decides to use Facebook or any social media, in effect, has to accept the consequences of what happens. And what happened here is a massive data breach. Of course, the Democrats and the left are trying to use this to, again, discredit Trump's election. It's political. And I think that Congress, frankly, should stay out of Internet communications and collection regulation. They want to get their hooks into it. And if the Democrats take control of Congress this fall, you'll see that happening. I think it'll be a big tragedy. And I think, frankly, people should think twice before they put anything on Facebook. So to some extent, some individuals got what they deserved here.
Larry Klayman, as always, pleasure to have you. Still much more to come here on America Talks Live. After the break, the Democrats are in total disarray over DACA. We're going to give you the very latest on that coming up with our political panel.